Paul Nicholson, and you're listening to Josh's Daughter Street.
Hi there guys, this is Josh from Josh's Data Street. Welcome to this mini Josh's Data Street podcast episode. Unfortunately, our work schedules have meant we haven't been able to record a full show for you just lately, but fear not, because we're bringing you some bonus content as I chatted to Paul Nicholson earlier this week about the World Matchplay, his plans for 2020 and his decision not to enter qualifying school in 2019. Enjoy the audio and look out for a full show coming very soon.
Josh's Data Street, Josh's Data Street, Josh's Data Street, Josh's Data Street.
So looking ahead to the match play.
Maybe the most intriguing match plays that we've had. Other things, of course, add a little bit of salt and spice to the tournament. The fact that MVG's probably not in an unbeatable mood. He's got a tough game to start with himself. Gary's the defending champion, and he hasn't played a lot this year. I just think it's got a different feel this year, and the fact that someone like Peter Wright has gone from being not as strong in the Premier League to being the best player at the minute, arguably. I just think it makes for a very, very interesting event indeed.
No, I completely agree. But just looking at the first round, are there any ties that you can pick out that you're really looking forward to? You think the pick of the first round, maybe?
I'm really looking forward to the first game of the tournament, if I'm honest. I spent a lot of time with Mervyn King yesterday. He was in a very relaxed mood. He understands that playing against Nathan Aspinall right now is one tough gig.
Yeah.
And Aspinall, not far from home, just up the M6. He's going to be loving this. He's in a great spot in his life. After winning in Vegas, he's going to feel invincible. And the fact of the matter is, not being involved in the German Masters, I think is probably working in his favour.
Yeah.
Because not only has he got enough practice under his belt, he's got enough rest as well. And he has had issues with his back and some other things like that. So he's had time to, make sure he's nice and fresh for this event. He works hard enough, and I think that game will be very intriguing. But you can pick any game you want, really. I mean, the Durant-Lewis game is just delightful. I mean, the walk-on song backstory of that makes it even better.
Yeah.
But for me, Cross against Dobie has to be one of those games where you think if Dobie shows up, Cross shows up, we could be in for a bit of a dust-up here, and there could be some cracking matches.
No, definitely. I think it should be. I mean, all round, the field looks so strong this year. But which seeds do you think could be in danger this year? I mean, there could be any number there could be, but which seed do you think are most in danger?
He's probably got to say Darren Webster, I think. the one at most risk. Based on current form, he has Euro Tours backstage looked a little erratic mentally, and you think he's just not got any sort of cohesiveness with his game mentally, and he's had problems with his tennis elbow on his right arm as well. I think he's probably a lot of risk. No seed is safe, and that's what makes it really intriguing in the first round.
Definitely, and I'm going a little bit ahead now, but I'm going to ask you to predict the final, and I'm going to ask you to predict 2 wins.
You know, I haven't even made my mind up yet, if I'm honest with you. But as far as people who are going to go deep, I'm hearing a lot of whispers, which I agree with, thinking that this tournament is made for Gerwyn Price, because he is the kind of player for me who was very strong at putting in a big game once a day.
Yeah.
Now, he has won Pro Tours this year. He has won Players Championships. He has won on the Euro Tour. But I think he's at his strongest when he's got to put in one explosive form today, and this is exactly what you're going to do in the match play in the World Championships, and predominantly in the Grand Slam, which he's already won. So I think Gerwyn Price will probably make the final, and on the other side of the coin, I haven't really made my mind up yet. Personally, just because I like things to be ruffled, I would love Gezi to win it.
Yeah. No.
I just think it would be a really good sort of 2 fingers up to everybody who said he's a bit of a flash in the pan. I mean, everybody knows that he's not. He's a phenomenal player, and he's great for the game. And for me, to see the new bad boy of darts and the one that everybody polarises be successful would be just brilliant. So that the Twitter feeds would go into meltdown again.
No, it would be brilliant. I mean, like I say, he's a divisive character, but he's always one that I enjoy watching. But focusing now on yourself a little bit, Paul. I know you did an interview with Live Darts at the start of the year, and obviously you explained your decision why you didn't go to Q School. But for those that don't know, would you just be able to explain why you opted against going to Q School this year?
Well, yeah, obviously the thing that happened with the permutations at the World Championships, where seven things had to happen for me to lose my card and go to 65th in the world. When all 7 things were ticked off the list, and consequently I did go outside the top 64. It was a bit of a shock at the start, and when it was confirmed on January the 2nd that everybody had renewed their PDPA membership and their PDC subscription, that I was confirmed as number 65 for 2019, I just felt that I wasn't mentally ready to go to Q School, whereas 2 years previous to that, I was mentally ready. I'd figured out that I needed to do some work, I needed to start from scratch. At that point, I knew that I was going to Lakeside to commentate for 10 days. I knew the Q School was straight after it. And I figured, what do I do right now? And that thing is, you know what, I need to step back after 10 solid or 11 solid years of playing darts. I need to figure out how I get back to where I want to be. I don't want to be one of those journeyman also-ran guys between, say, 48 and 64 in the world.
Yeah.
I want to make deep runs on the tour again and figure out why it hasn't been happening for the last few years. And I'm still searching for, what's gone wrong. And I think in the next 4 weeks, I'll start to practice a bit more, and then I'll go to Canada and spend some time with Jeff Smith, and then to find out what we need to do to get ready for January. It was the right call. I don't regret it whatsoever.
Does it feel strange? Obviously, you mentioned there you've been competing on the PDC Tour for about a decade now. Does it feel strange when the Pro Tour weekends come around and you're not there competing?
At the start of the season, I found myself on certain Saturday mornings thinking, why am I in my own bed on a Saturday when I'm not surrounded by purple and white in the Premier Inn?
Yeah.
It was a very odd thing. It took me a while to adjust to it. It took me a good 2 months to realise that I wasn't going to, sit next to the likes of Steve West and Robert Thornton and Mervyn King, which I've been doing for the last 10 years. And I've got used to it now, but it's got to the stage where I'm looking at the results online, wanting to see my name in there again.
Yeah.
But I know that there's a lot of work to do between now and potentially February to make sure that happens.
And obviously you commentate a lot on the European Tour. Obviously, seeing the big crowds and obviously players playing on the big stage, does that just, make you really hungry to return better than ever?
In a strange sort of way, the European Tour commentary has been a constant for me for the last 3 years. So being there just feels very normal.
Yeah.
On a couple of occasions this year, James Wade pulled out really late and left the hole in the schedule by one game. So the promoters of the European Tour got me to go on stage and play an exhibition match against Russ Bray and against some people in the crowd. So being on the stage, not in my darts regalia, felt a bit strange.
Yeah.
But being in front of the fans, I got that buzz again. That buzz of being in front of people, doing my thing, feeling a little bit nervous, getting that adrenaline. That's what I miss.
Yeah.
And that's what I want again. So giving me the opportunity to get on the stage and play a few darts and feel that buzz, that's what motivation I need. And I need more of that in the next few months, just to get the hunger enough to get through Q School and possibly mix it with the guys again.
And obviously, you're always been the sort of player who analyses his game, and obviously, since you've been doing the punditry for the last 3 or 4 years, has that helped you analyse your game a little bit more? Very
much so. I think there were glaring errors in my action for a good couple of seasons, and one of the reasons why, my game regressed is because of certain injuries that I had. I started to get wrist pain, so I had to change a grip. Then I got shoulder pain, so I had to change again. Then I found a grip and an action that worked, but it turns out that it was just a little bit too late.
Yeah.
So now that I have an action that I've been using for the best part of 18 months and a grip, what I've had time to do this year is to analyse what I was doing right at the start of my career, what I was doing right last year, putting them together and figuring out a formula to go forward. And what has also helped me is that coaching other people in 2018 and 19 has allowed me to analyse my throw a little bit more with them. So I think I've got a very good technique that just needs repetitions now. They talk about quarterbacks in the NFL needing reps when they start a pre-season. Well, I'm getting to the stage of my pre-season now, and I need reps. So that's what the next 3 months is about for me.
Definitely, and obviously, just finally, the main aim for you next year is to retain that tour, or to regain your tour card. But have you set yourself any other targets besides that, or is it just solely focused on that Q School?
That's the only target, really. Come January, go to Wigan, leave your reputation at the door, very much like I did 2.5 years ago. Get in there, do my best, and then we will make goals after what happens at Q School, because we don't know what's going to happen at Q School. I could get through on day one and start making goals on the Friday. We could get through on Sunday. We could not get through at all. And then everything that happens from there has a different repercussion. So it's all about what happens in January, and then after that we'll make some other decisions.
Well, perfect. I wish you all the very best, Paul. It'll be great to see you back on the PDC Tour, and thanks for your time today, mate.
Anytime, Josh.
Thanks, Paul. See you later, mate.
Thanks, mate. Take care.
Josh is Dutch Street, Josh is Dutch Street, Josh is Dutch Street.